Shooting fireworks is fun, but how do you get the look? G'day, welcome to Exposure Hell. There's shade and light and I might get sunburnt. Anyway, we're here. Now, fireworks. I like to shoot fireworks, but in reality, out where I live, there might be one chance a year to get some, because fireworks only happen on certain occasions. So out here we've got the local show, and they finish one of the nights with the firework display, which is great. That's when you go along and you try to get the fireworks. So once a year you get fireworks and they last for 5 minutes. So if you want to experiment and try different things, you got one chance. Someone's using a chainsaw. Oh well, it is a work day. So there's very few times you can actually shoot fireworks. And with the weather, that affects it. A couple of years ago there was bad weather, fireworks were called off. Before that, there were the COVID restrictions and lockdowns, there were no events, so no fireworks. So about 5 years in a row we had nothing, and it was really hard because no fireworks, you can't practice, you can't try new things. So the other weekend the Lilydale show was on and the fireworks were going to happen. Although I'd shot them before, they were just standard shots. You know, the fireworks could go off, you try to catch them. I did try one thing, I had a second camera there that was running for the whole time. So I got a 6-minute photo with all the fireworks happening all at once in that one photo. But then I had to wait and wait and wait, and years went by, and finally the show happened again and we had some fireworks. This time I thought I'd try something different. I'd seen photos before where the fireworks looked almost like flowers. They were very fat and then went into points, and it was a fantastic look. So I thought, how do I do that? Well, most of it is out of focus. It's only the end bit where the big fat flower leaves come into a point, and that's where you get what fireworks look like to your eye. They're very narrow. So I thought, okay, we're going to have to change the focus while the photo is happening. So maybe a couple of second exposure or something like that, and be very quick changing the focus. What do you need to do that? Well, the equipment you'll need is, of course, a camera, a lens, and a tripod. So I had all those things, but here's the rub. If you use a modern lens that comes with your camera, I've got Fujifilm, so the kit lens here, the 18-55, yeah, you can focus that manually. However, it's focused by wire. There's no markings on it, you have no idea where you are unless you look through the viewfinder. And there's no stop at infinity. There's very little control over this thing manually. So I'm finding that a modern lens is pretty useless for this sort of thing. It's really hard because you don't know. You can see when you're out of focus when you start, but once you've taken the photo you can't see the photo, and there's no markings or feel on the lens as to when you get to infinity. So it's really difficult. It's easier to use a all manual lens. Now you can go vintage. Here I've got an Olympus 50mm f1.8. It doesn't really matter. The thing is, the focus has a hard stop. You know when you're out of focus, you know when you're at infinity. It's easy, and you can't go past infinity because it's got a hard stop. You can use an old vintage lens like this, or there are modern equivalents. TT Artisan, a lot of their lenses have manual focus of course, but hard stops on them when they get to infinity. So you know when you're infinity. Same with the lens I'm shooting on now, which I actually used for the fireworks, the TT Artisan 25mm f2. It has quite a short focus stroke, which is really handy. And I stuck a tab on it so I can use it with one finger, and I know when I've reached infinity because the focus ring stops. So I would recommend, yeah, get your modern camera, get your tripod, use a vintage lens or an all manual modern lens like the TT Artisan ones make. So there's the tips and tricks of what you can use. So what are your settings? Once you got the gear, set it up on a tripod, and here's the first tip. Because you will be manually handling the camera while the shot is being taken, sturdier the tripod the better, because you're going to be moving the focus ring and you want the camera to stay as still as it can, of course. Okay, so that's the tripod covered. The camera, so long as you can manually adjust settings, and just about every camera does nowadays, you can set it in manual, choose your aperture, choose your ISO. The shutter speed, I was taking anywhere between 1 and 2 seconds. I wanted the fireworks to be distinct, not one big mess of 10 different fireworks going off at once. 2, maybe 3 at the most. 2 seconds would cover that nicely, and also gave me time to adjust the focus from when I clicked the shutter to when the shot finished. I was able to adjust the focus enough from out of focus to infinity. Tip number 3, the more out of focus it is at the start, the fatter the fireworks will look, and then as you focus to infinity they decrease, become narrower until they're just a line, a streak. So if you want nice fat fireworks at the start, then get way out of focus at the start, half a metre or the closest focus distance the lens has. As soon as you take the shot, move the lens to infinity, and then it'll go fat, get thinner and thinner and go to the point. That's how you get the look. If you don't want them so fat, don't take it so out of focus. Maybe go from 2 meters and then to infinity, and the fireworks won't start so fat. Okay, they'll be thinner. So you can get different effects simply by choosing how out of focus to start with. So they're the results I got. I found it much more interesting to do than just straight fireworks shots like I've done in the past. Experiment, play around with things, try different methods, and see what you can get. What you can't adjust, of course, is the amount of time the fireworks go for. 5 minutes or so is for small shows is about it. So you've got to be quick. You've got to just keep taking photo after photo after photo. Don't stop to look at your camera to see what you've been getting. You're just wasting time. Just keep going, pushing that shutter button, moving that focus, and when it's all over, then you look to see what you got. Okay, whatever camera you got, whatever lens you got, whatever you're shooting, pick it up, take it for a walk, and have some fun. Bye.